World Cup 1975. The teams taking part, England and Australia, India and Pakistan, New Zealand, East Africa, Sri Lanka and West Indies, a great side and skippered by magnificent cricketer Clive Lloyd. Clive, what was the excitement like in the lead-up to this 1975 World Cup?
Well, I think, Richie, it had all those things in it. The atmosphere was tremendous. There's quite a lot of drama, and the excitement, the people really were excited, especially the West Indians, because we were doing so well. And it was the first World Cup, and it just had so many people watching the games. It was really a tremendous atmosphere.
What about the composition of your side? It was one of the strongest teams you were able to put in the field in those days.
Yes, I think it was the beginning of our good run, basically, in Test cricket too, because we had batting right down to number 10 or 11, basically. We had Derek Murray coming at 10, then we had Boyce and Van Benholder. So it was basically a very formidable side.
What about the bowling strength? Because the ability to bowl accurately and still have penetration is very important in these games.
Oh yes, and we had two fellas that were quite good in that respect. We had Van Benholder, who was, I thought, probably a very underrated bowler where West Indian cricket is concerned. We had Keith Boyce with Bernard Julian, and I turned my arm over a little bit, and we had Viv, who bowled the odd ball here and there. So basically I thought we had a very good side.
What about the nerves in the team, the fact that you were actually coming into the first World Cup of all time?
Yes, well, it was a sort of a tense situation because we really didn't know how well we would do. We had an inkling that we would do well in the sense that we had a fairly good team. And as I said, we were coming to the fore where Test cricket was concerned. So this was something new. It was the first time it had happened. So we were thinking, well, we have to play well to win, because you had England, we had Pakistan, and we had Australia and New Zealand. They were all good teams, very good one-day sides too, and had some very great players. So it was a very keenly contested series.
Well, in the first round, Australia, West Indies and New Zealand each took 4 points for a win. We're going to have a look now at part of the other game. That's between England and India at Lord's, the first match of the World Cup, and in many ways one of the most astonishing games of limited overs cricket I've ever seen. We're going to join at 74 for 1. The Indian skipper Venkat is the bowler, and Dennis Amos is taking straight.
And that's 50 for Amos. Beautifully controlled, sweet little push through the offside. Possibly the first 50 in the Prudential Cup. Runs are being made elsewhere for no wicket. But a lovely 50 for Amos out of 78.
Armanat ready to start his 7th over. Amos facing on 51. Well, a glorious shot by Dennis Amos, cut away square. He's taken toll of Armanath after his very good start. And Amos going from strength to strength now, moving on to 55 out of a score of 91 for 1. Another fine shot. Boundaries flowing now from the bat of Dennis Amos. 2 in succession there. Really warming to his task and looking a most accomplished player. And repeated again, 3 in succession. What a wonderful shot. 1 fine, 1 square, and now 1 put through the cover. 3 successive boundaries to Amos. Then into the 60s. A superb exhibition of stroke play by the Warwickshire opener. Abidali, the 5th bowler to be used. Amos on 69. What a beautiful shot. He really can't go wrong here this morning. Just leant into that and powered it away through the covers. Amos has moved very rapidly on since he completed his 50. He's moved on now to 73 out of the England score of 111 for 1. I think that's going to continue, starting now his 8th over. Amos down the pitch, another glorious shot. Really pulled everyone out here this morning, hoisting that over mid-on. Cover drives, leg glances, deflections, cuts. 78 now to Dennis Amos. England score moving on to 116 for 1 at the start of the 28th over. And looking the complete player here. Yet another boundary going through. Extra cover on the offside. 14 boundaries already to Dennis Amiss in his score of 82. Another glorious clip off his legs by Amiss, his 15th boundary. That's 36 overs now completed. The important point there is Amiss is on 99. 99 made out of 152. And that's it, pushed away comfortably on the onside. Right in the middle of the bat once more, takes 2 runs and reaches one of the most accomplished centuries of his career. That 100 coming in just fractionally over 2 hours, 16 glorious boundaries on it and being acclaimed by this magnificent crowd here at Lord's. 101 out of 154 for 1. The route engineer now standing up to the wicket for the medium pace of Abid Ali. Fletcher swinging that away on the leg side between the 2 men at long leg and square leg, 4 more. And this big crowd have certainly seen some great shots here this morning. A real flow of boundaries. It's a great blow by Fletcher. Picked that one up and deposited it in the crowd. Roundabout leg stump, that one went. So the first 6 of this innings, and Fletcher moving into the 60s with it. 200 coming up for England and coming up in the 45th over.
Still the field shuffles round to different positions again. Salker to Amiss. He's cracked that one in the air, and Abid Ali's under it. Just between the 2 fielders. Given us 4, sailed just about on the rope, just inside them. And he's bowled. Abid Ali knocks back Keith Fletcher's off stump. Fletcher 68 out of 230 for 1. Good second string effort by Fletcher there, a bit sticky to start with, but he contributed his bit towards the end.
And there's LBW trying to force a good length ball away on the onside. Tony Greig having to take a chance here. Looking to find a gap on the onside, and Abid Ali collecting another wicket. His contribution quite a miserly one of 4. And Madan then about to complete his 8th over, which leaves him 4 to bowl. Govri, the other opening bowler, has not been called upon since he had his first spell of 6 overs, but Amarnath and Venkat and Abid Ali are now bowled out. They've completed their 12. And that's it, swinging away. So, a belated wicket there for Madan Lal, and the end of a really glorious exhibition of stroke play by Dennis Amiss. And this entire crowd rising then to Dennis Amiss. A really superb exhibition of stroke play. 137 he made. And he's enjoyed every minute of that. And that's hoisted high. Always a good thing to say. And there we are. We wanted another 6. England wanted another 6, and that was the perfect lead-in. So high 6 over mid-wicket. A great blow there by Chris Hill, not even bothering to run. It's another 6 to him. Beautiful straight crack there for 6 by Chris Hill, and the crowd absolutely lapping up this now. So Chris Hill, the second 6 to him. And just about all the Indian fielders, with 2 exceptions, on the boundary. That swung high in the air. Dinesh coming into the act. He's found a shorter boundary there at mid-wicket. He's negotiated it successfully, and he too gets 6.
That's a tremendous performance from the England batsman. 334 in a 60-over side match is quite an effort. 137 for Dennis Amos, 68 for Fletcher. It was 335 to win for India. And then came the near unbelievable part. Sunil Gavaskar batted through 60 overs and made 36 not out. I've never seen anything quite like it in a limited overs game before or since that day. It was almost as though they were having batting practice, either that or playing for a draw. England won the match by 202 runs. Man of the match was Dennis Amos with his 137. One of the most exciting matches in the whole of the 1975 World Cup was the clash between West Indies and Pakistan at Edgbaston. It goes down in the folklore of limited overs cricket as one of the very best games ever played. Clive, Edgbaston, are your nerves still tingling?
Oh yes, it tested our nerves. There's no doubt about that. It was one of the best games I've played, really, and we thought 266 was a sort of formidable total, but once we batted well, we would get the runs. It was a very good wicket, and we were doing quite well, and then we just lost our way a little bit. And I remember the last pair going out to bat, and Andy Roberts was the last man in, and he turned to me and said, "What shall I do?" I said, "Well, we're up for the over rate. If we keep going, we can still win it." And he looked at me and he went out there. And the point is that Murray and Roberts have always saved us, and even in Test matches. So all hope was lost basically, and it got closer and closer. And and I remember my accountant, Gordon Andrews, who was in Birmingham, and he said, "Well, listen, I've just put 150 quid on you. You're 66 to 1. I said, "Well, you must be mad." And he brought in a crate of pale ale. I'll always remember that. And I kept drinking one at a time. Every over that we passed, I drank one. So by the end of the last over, I was quite well plastered. And we won the game, and we were quite ecstatic. And I knew from that game that really we couldn't get, we had to win the competition.
Well, let's see if we can have a look through that fog of pale ale now, and we're going to join it with Majid Khan, that great batsman, facing Keith Boyce.
What a fine stroke. That's going to be 4 runs to mid-wicket. I don't think even Clive Lloyd will stop that, no.
Richards, surprise newcomer to the bowling crease. Lance Gibbs has been left out of this West Indian side. And a great stroke from Majid. Four runs to take him now to 33. 83 for 1. Richards to Zahir. And that can't be far away. Yes, it's out. LBW. Zahir given, and that was the top spinner. 83 for 2. Majid remains 34 not out, and the man out, Zahir. LBW bowled Richards for 31. Richards and Majid lofting him away into the vacant outfield. There are 2 men out there, but he's picked the gap beautifully. A fine stroke from Majid. 98 for 2, 44 to Majid, who is the non-striker in the hat. Mushtaq is on 5, taking strike now to Andy Roberts in the 29th over. Fine shot by Mushtaq, square of the wicket. Julian is the man down on the boundary. 3 runs up to Mushtaq, and the 100 up for Pakistan, for their delighted supporters in the 30th over. A great shot, beautifully placed, lovely piece of cricket that, and timed so well that even though the man at mid-off was very deep, he had no chance of cutting it off. Majid is on 49 now, facing Andy Roberts. And there it is, that's his half-century. Roberts to Mushtaq. Safe again, straight through that area, fine of the gully, and 4 runs.
Clive Lloyd then, bowling to Mushtaq. That's down the long leg. And 4 runs. Oh, I say, he really has hit that fearful belt. Just short of 6. It's out! Yes. Well, margin is gone. And that was a good delivery of Clive Lloyd's, just short of a length, and the ball moved away from him. And margin, in fact, I think, was pushing it down to 3rd man.
Shot, 4 runs, he's made up for it there. It's one of the best strokes of the day. 179 for 3 now. 47 overs to go. 21 to Wasim and 41 to Mushtaq. Lloyd. It's a good shot again. And that'll take some catching. It's going to the long side of the ground. But they should be able to take 4. Andy Roberts is the man throwing. Very powerful, but very much astray in direction. It's a great shot. Picked that up beautifully. Hit it away over mid-wicket, bouncing it inside the boundary and then into the fence. Holder to Mushtaq. Mushtaq's going to look for 2 here. Greenwich is the fieldsman. And it's a beautiful piece of cricket. Mushtaq is on 49. Facing Van Bernholder. Could be bat or it could be pad. Crowd, the Pakistan section of it hopes that it's bat, and indeed it is. And it is Mushtaq's half-century. A most valuable contribution, this in 98 minutes, 2 4s. Boyce now, bowling to Mushtaq. Away in the air, over extra cover, Greenwich the man after it. Bouncing in front of the boundary, but into the fence. .200 up for Pakistan. Goes now to Wasim Raja. That's out. Oh, he's put it down again, and that was a simple chance. Kalicharan. So suddenly, a little bit of raggedness around the edges of this West Indies side. Bowled in, played on. Boyce breaks through in his last over. In his 12th over, Keith Boyce takes his first wicket, bowling Mushtaq for 55. 202 for 4 now, Pakistan. Julian the man chasing, and a good shot from Wasim Raja. He hit that very, very hard indeed. Can I? There's some wild throwing going on now. It's Wasim Raja's 50. West Indies looking ragged in the field. They're panicking a little bit under pressure. And Wasim Raja has reached his half-century in 63 minutes, including 6 boundaries. 266 is a pretty good tally there from 60 overs, due in the main to the excellent batting in the middle of the order from Mushtaq and Wasim Raja, and then Shahid Miandad. And up at the top, Majid Khan, who's a most accomplished player. 266, 267 for West Indies to win. 1 on the board when we join it. Asif Masood is the bowler, and Gordon Greenwich is taking strike.
And he's hooked that away. That's 4 runs. Beautiful stroke, but very, very bad ball from Masood. Now it's Sarfraz to Greenwich. And he's caught him out. Yes, what a wonderful start for Pakistan. And a very good delivery from Sarfraz. It lifted off a length and moved away from the batsman. Greenwich's had a pretty bad time this summer. Out for 4. Masood bowling a little on the short side, which he mustn't do on this wicket. Coming in now to bowl to Fredericks. Oh, and that was a near thing there. And it's 4 runs, an inside edge from Fredericks there that went past the off stump.
The 6th over to be bowled now by Sarfraz. He's bowling to Fredericks. Oh, that must be close. Yes, indeed. A good delivery from Sarfraz. A really good piece of bowling by this big fella today. His 2nd wicket in his 3rd over. And what a turn-up for Pakistan without their captain, Asif Iqbal, and their fine young all-rounder, Imran Khan. And that should be out. Majid is under it. Oh, and he puts it down. What a tragedy for Pakistan. Oh, and that is out. Sarfraz has done it again. 3 wickets in 4 overs. And no wonder the Pakistanis are rushing him. A great exhibition of bowling in any class of cricket. Clive Lloyd now will face Sarfraz. Right over the top of that, I think. Razimbari. It's 4 runs to Clive Lloyd, but perilously close to the Pakistan wicketkeeper. Nazir Malik to Clive Lloyd. Now there's a nice firm stroke. No need to chase that. That's 4 runs. Lloyd just starting to get into stride now, running into double figures and bringing up the West Indian 50. That's 4 runs. And one thing Nazir Malik has to learn, that on a pitch like this you never ever bowl short. Nazir to Lloyd. Oh, that's a great shot. Superb stroke. Guided away right off the middle of the bat. And Nazir is proving rather an expensive luxury. There are only the 2 frontline bowlers in this Pakistan side today. That's Sarfraz and Asif Masood. Nazir. And he's got him! Kanai played on. It's remarkable the number of times that's happened, and no wonder they're pleased with Nazir. He's been a bit loose with his bowling, but he's suddenly picked up that vital wicket. Bowling to Rohan Kanai. Parvez Mir is bowling his 2nd over. He's the replacement in the side for Imran Khan in this game. Bowling to Richards. Oh, what a great shot again. That's 8 runs from an over of variable length.
Parvez Mir now, bowling to Richards. And he's really struck. Oh, wait a minute, he may be out. Yes, he's caught. Oh, very well taken catch, a deep, long leg off a very short ball from Mir. And the West Indies are 99-4-5 now.
Clive Lloyd has seen some of his experienced players out to rather indifferent strokes. There's 4 more off the bat this time.
Bowling to Lloyd. Oh, what a magnificent stroke. Absolutely effortless to the mid-wicket boundary, only just short of a length.
Asif Masood now to Bernard Julian. He's got him caught, meandered that forward square leg. Not a bad shot from Julian. He timed it crisply, but he hit it in the air, and Meandad pulled it down just above the top of his head. And what a great breakthrough that is for Asif Masood, who's tried so hard here today. 145 for 6 now, and Pakistan right in the box seat again. Very good piece of timing to give Clive Lloyd his half-century. Takes him now on to 51. A very, very good innings from Clive Lloyd. 102 minutes and 8 fours. And that's well bowled too. And he's given him umpire language, and Lloyd doesn't like it. The Pakistan players absolutely delighted, and Lloyd not at all happy, standing there. It took umpire language a little while to give the decision. Wicket-keeper bowler and the close to the wicket fieldsman, not that there are many of them, were up, and that surely must be the end of things for the West Indies now, with their captain dismissed for 53. Bowls now to Boyce. Bowl him! And that is another inside edge onto the stumps. Boyce not making full contact, and the 8th wicket has gone down. West Indies surely now cannot win.
That's been dispatched to the square leg boundary, or behind square. Very fine sweep by Holder there, hitting it right in the middle of the bat.
Well, Nazir Malik is preparing now to bowl his last over. He has 2 for 49 from 11 overs. He's only allowed 12. Bowls now to Van Holder. It's safe, and if they hurry, it'll be 4 runs. In fact, they don't have to bother running it. It beats the fieldsman into the fence. Sarfraz. It's safe, and it's 4 runs. Well, Sarfraz can feel aggrieved at that. Pakistan leg spinner Miandad bowling to Holder. Good firm stroke, just the single, and it brings up the 200. The West Indies are fighting hard here. 200 on the board for 8 wickets, and this partnership has produced 34 runs between Holder and Derek Murray. Sarfraz to Holder. Oh, what a great catch by Parvez Mir! A lovely catch away on his right-hand side and high above his head, and this youngster pulled it down. And no wonder he looks pleased. He's playing in his first great international contest, and he may well have taken the catch to win the match. 32 to Murray, but it's Roberts now who has to face Miandad. He's bowling his last over. He's bowled 11 overs for 42, and he bowls to Roberts. Good shot. 4 runs. Slightly overpitched. Roberts might be going in at number 11, but he still doesn't waste an opportunity of that kind. Derek Murray has gone on to 41, 232 for 9. Asif bowls to Murray. Oh, good shot. And that'll be 4 runs. He should be able to run the 4. Certainly Roberts is turning to come back, and they will do it. So that's good running there. Pursued to Murray. Oh, great shot. And 4 runs. That's a lovely stroke from Derek Murray. Just 10 to win and 2 overs to go. Now, someone out on the field has the thought that Roberts might have a go. They've pushed the field back a bit. Deep square leg, and long off has gone out another 30 yards, and long on as well. And he's hit it beautifully. 4 runs, that's what was needed. He had to decide whether or not to take the risk, and he got away with it. The ball was right in the slot. 5 runs from 5 deliveries, and it's no good the West Indies making 267 266, because in that case, Pakistan would win on the least number of wickets to fall. Wasim Raja. And he's got to hit the stumps. Oh, and he's missed running him out, and they'll take another run. Wasim Bari, the man who threw to Wasim Raja, he couldn't gather it in, and they took 2 runs. 2 leg byes. So it's 264. 3 to win, and there are 4 balls left. Excitement certainly in the centre. Zahir, the fieldsman, and almost overthrows there. So it is now 266. What a great job Andy Roberts has done in this over. The field has got to come in now and stop Roberts taking 1 more single. And what a marvellous fight back by the West Indies. They were beaten at one stage, and now this pair has taken the score from 203 to 266. And there it is. It's the winning run for the West Indies. A great game of cricket and a marvellous win by the West Indians. At one stage looking as though they were beaten. And Derek Murray is being trampled by his countrymen there and now being hoisted. And I shouldn't think he's all that happy about it. But a great win for the West Indies. 267 for 9. Beat Pakistan 266. What a finish. What a match. There was great excitement. Sarfraz was man of the match for his 4 for 44. But that last wicket partnership will be remembered forever by everyone who was at that ground. And so too will those famous last words of your commentator, the West Indies surely can't win that now. What was it like in the dressing room as those 2 players came off?
I think we were all sort of wringing wet, really.
I know you were from what you've said.
Yes, it was excellent, basically, and I thought that brought West Indian cricket to the fore. We were much closer then, because I think winning a game of that magnitude, I think it was excellent for our team spirit, because we had quite a lot of young players. We had a young Vivian Richards who had now started his Test career, and we had David Murray, we had Alvin Kali-Churan, so they were all young. So I thought that was the starting of our great run, basically.
In the England-New Zealand match played at Trent Bridge, England turned in another splendid performance under the captaincy of Mike Denness and played very well throughout the game. Here those Collins coming in from the Radcliffe Road end, bowls him the in-swinger. There's a little inside edge. That's the end of Amos for 16. England 27 for 1 in the 7th over. 1 run and 2 overs later, Collins again bowling to John Jameson, and that's another very good one. Leaving the right-hander, slanted across him, nicely taken down the offside by wicket-keeper Wadsworth. Jameson out for 11, 28 for 2 in the 9th over. Here's Dale Hadley coming into bowl, and Keith Fletcher is taking strike.
A beautiful shot, perfectly timed, 4 runs all the way, forced off the back foot by Fletcher. His first boundary.
Get me now to Fletcher.
Beautiful shot, 4 runs.
So Fletcher moving to 16, the 50 up for 2.
It's a beautiful shot. Well, it's a great bit of work in the field. Really deserved better fortune than that, but it was a magnificent stop there by Richard Hadley. Any goalkeeper would have been proud of that. Full-length dive. It's made it all right this time. So just been cut off inside the rope. They turn in for the 3rd run. Another glorious shot of the back foot. No need for the batsman to run there. Once again, he can't afford to bowl short to Frank Hayes on this pitch, bowling at that pace. It's a short one and a no ball, and put away with great force and power by Frank Hayes.
So 3 runs wanted for the English 100. That's 4 of them. That'll do.
Should have the 5 overs with a new ball from this end.
And that must be out. He knew it. I don't think the umpire, Tom Spencer, had much doubt about that. Hayes gone for 34. And the score is 111 for 3. That's it. Keith Fletcher moves to his 50 in 1 hour 35 minutes with 7 fours.
Headley Howarth from the Radcliffe Road end. And a glorious shot there by Dennis. So quick on his feet, danced down the pitch and absolutely blasted it through the offside. Keckney again. Another glorious shot by Fletcher. 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. Beautifully clipped away through mid-wicket. That boundary takes England under 148 for 3. Howarth, after a brief break of just 2 overs, coming back into the attack. Oh, it's a really glorious shot from Mike Dennis. Used his feet beautifully down the wicket. A glorious straight 6. Bill Ali signalling the first 6 then of this match here at Trent Bridge. Exactly what England need now. They've got to start pushing ahead. They're in a strong position, but need plenty of runs. And the 6 followed by another fine shot. Swept away. It's 4 more. Dennis had a little chat with Keith Fletcher just a couple of overs ago, eyed the scoreboard, thinking the batsmen, they've still got to come in, and realising it was the time really to start some form of onslaught. And over the last few minutes there's really been some cracking shots played. It's a short one again, pulled away. And it's out this time, so Dennis really looking for the runs, going for them. Thought he might have cleared the boundary there. He didn't, and it was a good catch out at mid-wicket. So a very bright and breezy innings. Another good performance there from the England captain.
Up to 4 runs and over. This is Dale Headley now, and he's bowled. Tony Greig is bowled for 9. The sort of shot that England can afford in these circumstances.
Well, that's a great shot. It really was a fine shot. And a miraculous save there by Morrison. Tremendous stuff in the field by New Zealand. He's got his 3 there, and it takes him through to a most well-deserved 100. Keith Fletcher has never been in trouble since he came in here at number 3 this morning. A series of sparkling shots all around the field. And this big crowd here giving him the applause that he fully deserves. And that's got to be 6. Enormous blow there, right under past tree it dropped. And that's the sort of power that this man can get into his shot when he times it correctly. Sailing right out of Trent Bridge there. Oh, now on 17. 3 balls left. That's a more sensible ball, pitched it well up. They're coming back for the second, causing a misfield, and coming back for a third. And the first signs of a little bit of panic there in the field. It was one of the younger players, 21-year-old McKechnie. So this is the last ball, Fletcher on 130. Gone in for one, they must certainly come back for the second. And he's run out, and Fletcher not too concerned whether he was run out or not. So the first one counts, the second one doesn't. He remains on the scorecard, run out for 131. And Keith Fletcher can seldom have played better for England.
A good batting performance from England. New Zealand couldn't match it, despite a sound 55 from John Morrison at the top of the order. Tony Greig took 4 for 45 in 12 overs for England, and man of the match was Keith Fletcher for his 131. England won the game by 80 runs, and with West Indies and Australia now have 8 points. Shortly after that, the Australians came up against their first really stern test because they played you at the Oval. Now, what was happening in the dressing room there? Had you set yourselves that you must win that game to establish ascendancy over the Australians?
Oh yes. Well, the point is we didn't know who we would play in the final, and the point is Australia looked a very good bet basically to go through because they were playing extremely well. They had some very good bowlers and they had some great batsmen, and they were, you know, I think they were learning quite a lot and fast where one-day cricket was concerned, and they had one of the shrewdest captains about in Ian Chappell. And I thought, well, if we can win this game, you know, it will give us, as you said, a sort of a hold over the Australians if we have to play them in the final.
This, though, was the moment of truth so far as the Australians were concerned. The first time they've come up against the West Indian machine in this 1975 Prudential World Cup. We join play now at the Oval with the Australians 1 run on the board, no wicket down. Rick McCosker is taking strike, and the bowler is Bernard Julian, the left-arm pace man. He's coming in from the pavilion end.
And he's caught him, yes. Frederick says he's got it. He's scooping it up at ground level, and the first wicket down, McCosker out. Caught around the corner by Roy Fredericks off Bernard Julian's bowling. A sharply lifting delivery that sends the West Indian spectators into a joyous demonstration. Roberts to Turner. And that's very close indeed, my word. A good delivery from Andy Roberts. Beat Turner with pace, and I reckon that was as plumb as anything you'll ever see. The second Australian wicket goes down with 21 on the board. Turner, Andy Roberts, first victim.
Nice shot. Pushed away in front of square. Fredericks on the chase. There'll be 3 runs here. He doesn't play to bowl at either of these men on their leg stump. Gordon Greenwich fielding, and 3 more runs, this time for Greig. And played a miss to that, and he's out, caught down the offside by Derek Murray. Greg Chappell gone for 15, 49 for 3. And what a wicket for Keith Boyce to get, the most talented of the Australian players. Well bowled, and he's out. That looked a very good delivery indeed. Ian Chappell out, another great wicket for Boyce to get. He's got both the brothers, 56 for 4. And Ian Chappell gone for 25.
Very good crowd in. All seats sold and no other spectators allowed in. Boyce to Walters. Greenwich, beautifully fielded. That is a great piece of work. What a great piece of fielding by Greenwich, and typical of the way the West Indians have risen to the occasion this morning. It's 61 for 5, with Walters magnificently run out by Gordon Greenwich, picking the ball up on his wrong side, transferring it to his right hand and throwing down the stumps from a very acute angle. Now there is a miserable looking scoreboard from the Australian point of view. Very good one from the West Indian point of view. And it's Lloyd to Edwards.
And that's in the air. Andy Roberts is the fieldsman, but it is the first boundary of the morning. In the last over before lunch, the Australians have struck their first boundary. They've hit a number of threes, 6 in all. It's a very nice gesture of them to send those planes over for the Australians hitting the first boundary of the morning. They're just a little bit late.
Last ball of an over from Clive Lloyd. The batsman is Ross Edwards. He's throwing the bat at Clive Lloyd. And it's 4 runs to Ross Edwards. Only the second boundary of the day for Australia. Edwards moving to 25. Rodney Marsh facing Roberts. Inside edge, 4 runs. Typical resistance here from the 6th wicket. That's a fine shot off the back foot, and one of the rare boundaries of the day. Four signalled by umpire Dickie Bird. And Van Holder will be pushed to cut that off. Just doing so. Coming back for 3. Good running by Marsh. Van Burn's throw from a long way out on this large ground. And for the first time today, Australia nudging ahead of a rate of 3 and over.
Rodney Marsh is the batsman, Van Holder the bowler. That's through the gap, and Greenwich is not after it. Clive Lloyd's the man having to chase. And it will just reach the ropes. A long boundary out there. So another boundary, and Lloyd not desperately happy, I don't think, at Greenwich leaving that for him. Rodney Marsh, another boundary, takes him on to 22. Holder to Edwards. That's a good shot from Ross Edwards. A bit of improvisation there because he's not a hooker or a puller. Boyce to Marsh. Good looking shot from Rodney Marsh. Fieldsman is Bernard Julian. Edwards is going to come back for 3. That's good running. And a wild throw. So the 150 comes up for Australia. Much better than it seemed at one stage when they were 76 for 5. It is 50. Greenwich is the fieldsman, and a nice piece of fielding. It gives Edwards his half-century. A very good effort from Ross Edwards after top scoring for Australia in the game against Pakistan. He's also reached the only 50 of the day here at the Oval in this Australian fight back. 152 for 5 now. We're in the 43rd over now. Richards to Edwards. It's in the air. Bernard Julian. Kallicharran after it, but Kallicharran can't get it. 4 more to Edwards. Some militant batting here now from both these players, Ross Edwards and Rodney Marsh, and that 4 takes Edwards on to 54. Richards again to Edwards. And that's in the air. It's a good hit again. It's landing just inside the boundary and beating Kallicharran again. He was very late to pick it up. Couldn't see it in the crowd background. And the ball was almost level with him before he made a move. Bowled in. Edwards aiming on the offside. 58 bowled by Vivian Richards. And there are still 18 overs to go. I'm not sure that that was a wise thing for Edwards to do. He still had plenty of time to bat and was batting extremely well. 99, the stand between Edwards and Marsh. Edwards, I think, probably a little annoyed with himself here.
Well bowled. And he's given him out. Walker, LBW to Van Burn Holder for 8. And 7 wickets down now for 173. He's hit that in the air on the leg side as Van Burn Holder under it, and he's caught it beautifully. What a good catch. Very droppable indeed. Coming in over his shoulder. Coming down straight. So the end of Thompson for a single, and that's 8 down for 174. It's a very big hit. Ball is in the air on the leg side, and it's over the rope. Probably not far off 50 now, 46. Going to Marsh. That's Rodney Marsh's 50. Out goes a stump, ripped out by Roberts. 192 for 9, Lily gone for 3. Has he caught him? Murray's caught him, and he didn't even bother to look at the umpire. Beautiful catch, right-handed. Andy Roberts 2 in 2. And no one else to get, not in this innings. Splendid catch by Derek Murray. Didn't even bother to look at the umpire. Just kept walking towards the pavilion.
192 for Australia, and it would have been a very sad-looking scorecard without that 99-run partnership between Edwards and Marsh in the middle. The two Chappells got into double figures, but that was the end of it, apart from extras down the bottom. The wickets were shared by the West Indians, and a very good performance from them, and one indicative of what might happen later on in this competition. 193 to win, so far as the West Indians are concerned. It's 29 on the board without loss when Gordon Greenidge faces Max Walker.
Oh, that's well bowled. That is out. That was a really good delivery from Max Walker. Slanting in the air and keeping on going after it hit the pitch, and I should think that was very plumb indeed. You can see again now how that first wicket fell. Yes, he was beaten on the movement in there, and I think Greenidge was under no illusions as to whether or not he could stay out there.
Oh, if you're going to flash, flash hard. And that just tipped Ian Chappell's fingers at first slip. And that must have stung the end of his fingers. What a brilliant catch it would have been if he'd been able to clutch that down. Handsome looking shot, beautifully timed, and that's really hit the fence hard. Well, that's a fine shot by Kalachurang. 4 runs, beautifully timed. .64 for 1 off 17 overs, 27 for Fredericks, 16 for Kalachurang.
safe. A shout of anguish from Max Walker, and no chance of it being cut off. Walker hasn't had the best of good fortune out there. He's beaten the bat, had the ball fly off the edge through the slips. Great shot, 4 runs. A beautiful stroke. 2 men after it, neither able to cut it off, and a very good shot from Melbourne Kalacharan. Just wide of off stump. He had the foot well across to it. The 3 runs there might even beat Lilly to the fence. It's very quick on that downhill part, and in fact it does beat him to the rope. Very fast in that area at the Vauxhall end of the ground. Ash the mallet now. Through the gap. Edwards is after it. He'll be the one to pick it up, and they'll take 3 runs. They'll get 4. All run. Good running from Fredericks. Mallet to Kalacharan. Nice shot. Beautifully timed. Never left the ground for the moment. He met it with the full face of the bat. He got it away between mid-on and mid-wicket.
It's uppish, 4 runs and off the edge. And in all fairness to the Australian bowlers, they have had some luck, these two. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Kalacharan just moving ahead of Fredericks. Oh, he's flashed again, 4 more. Well, they all count. Don't think Dennis Lilly will be as pleased as those spectators. That's a hook for 4, and it's 3rd bounce. 3 fours in this over. 2 authentic hooks, 1 off the edge. Oh, they're getting delirious now. 3 balls all gone for 4. And he's done it again. 4 more, my goodness. 4 fours in 4 balls. A dramatic over they're watching from Dennis Lilly. Kalacharan really throwing the bat. And that's only a single. Down to Turner. Now to Fredericks. Last ball. Only the 1. Slight misfield by Ross Evans. And who would have believed that Dennis Lilly would be struck for 18 and an over? The first 4 balls all being dispatched for 4 to different parts of the field by Kalacharan. 3 on the leg side and 1 a very thick edge, a flash on the off. But Kalacharan has moved on in no time to 64. Well, Fredericks. Fredericks throwing the bat as well. Mallet can't cut that off. 50 for Fredericks.
Karacharan again as the batsman. Great shot. Beautiful back foot cover drive. A most talented batsman, this little fellow. Beautiful footwork, whether against the slow bowlers or the fast men. The back foot coming across here as the ball's on its way, and he's perfectly positioned. Lovely free swing of the bat. Lilly again. That's a beautiful hit. Magnificent hit. Picked up from roundabout leg stump. And what an onslaught Karacharan has launched on Lilly here this afternoon. Lilly again to Karacharan. Straight through second slip and 4 more. So once again the outside edge is brought into play. A rueful smile from Dennis Lilly there. The ball flying through the slip area. Ian Chappell has only the one slip, that's himself, and the West Indian spectators are delirious. Mallet is under that. It should be out. Yes, it is. It's the end of a marvellous little innings from Karacharan. A real little gem of an innings of 78, which included 1 6 and 14 fours. That is 62 in boundaries, and a tremendous run splurge of Dennis Lilly just at the end. He's a great little character and played a marvellous innings. 153 for 2. West Indies now. The Australians applauding, and the ground is rising to Karacharan. .153 for 2. The not-out batsman is Roy Fredericks. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. A slower ball, and he's caught behind. And indicates that he flicked his pad with his bat as he leaves the crease. Not very happy about that decision, Roy Fredericks. Out for 58. Caught Marsh, bowled Mallet, a ball that turned a little bit. Fine shot. Beautiful timing there. It'll beat Walker easily into the fence. Racing away down the hill there. 4 runs to Kenai, takes him on to 8. Great shot, over extra cover. It's a lovely straight that, quite premeditated. Ian Chappell to Richards. And there's the winning run. I don't think they'll see that ball again. The players off the field into the area where the presentation will take place and the nomination of the man of the match.
Well, that was a really conclusive victory for the West Indians. 195 for the loss of 3 wickets. Good solid performance from Karacharan, 78, Roy Fredericks, 58, and they never really looked in any doubt about winning the match. Dennis Lilly, 10 overs, no maiden, 1 for 66. That's the sort of hammering the Australians took. Well, that was a good win. Now, was it because you took the initiative right from the word go?
Yes, I think we were very positive in our approach, and although the Australians had some very fine balls, especially with Lillian Thompson firing quite well, but Alvin Caltran played a magnificent innings, and I think that turned the game our way, basically. We had a fairly good start, and the point is that for us, that was excellent, because most of our players were running into decent form leading up to the final.
And this is the way the two groups looked, with the semi-finalists, West Indies against New Zealand and Australia against England, on the basis that the top two teams go through to the semis. Well, the first of the semi-finals, England against Australia at Headingley, was a remarkable affair. 16 wickets fell for 187 in the day, only 65 overs bowled in all. 2 runs are on the board when we join play. It's on a green top, ball darting around all over the place already. Gary Gilmore is the bowler, and he's bowling to Dennis Amos.
Now it's Gary Gilmore, his second over of the day to Amos. Well bowled, and that's out. What a good delivery. The in-swinger, and umpire Constant satisfied. Amos on the back foot, it was going to hit the leg stump. Lily to Wood. And Ross was failing to cut that off. He might just have dropped a finger on it. It looks like 4 runs on a very fast outfield. Look at Dennis Lilly.
I think the most surprising thing of the play so far is that they're using the same wicket as they used for the last match here, which is something quite remarkable. Big expanse of middle here and having to use the same wicket again. And he's bowled him. And Gilmore having a fantastic start here. Really has looked the better of the two bowlers. Swung that ball in late, he's moved a few away, and England's second wicket going down with the score on 11. The man they were looking to see him away is the one departing now, Barry Wood.
That's a good shot. 4 runs just in front of square. Timed that perfectly.
And that's a brilliant catch, a beautiful catch by Marsh, taking it almost out of Ian Chappell's hands. I doubt very much whether Ian Chappell will be very pleased about it, but relieved that Marshy managed to stick hold of it. So all 3 have fallen to Gilmore. The outswinger moving away there, Gregg falling for the trap. And he's out, the 3rd wicket's down at 26, and Tony Gregg's out for 7. That's a friendly full pitch to get him away, but nicely clipped through mid-on, took advantage of it. It's racing down the hill for 4 runs. So just about the first loose ball from Gilmore there.
So Frank Hayes. He's out, no shot. Well, that's a sad way to go. A 4th wicket for Gary Gilmore. What a spell this man is having. And England are 33 for 4. And poor Frank Hayes is gone for 4. Gary Gilmore, he has the remarkable figures of 4 for 10.
There's another one whipping through, and he's out. Keith Fletcher, LBW. 5th wicket for Gary Gilmore. Left arm over the wicket, this ball ducking into him. Well, no sooner had I said it than another big swinger from outside the off stump.
The Yorker. He must have got a nick on it. Just as well he did, because I'm told, I didn't hear it myself, but I'm told from down in our scanner, our control van, that a little nick was clearly heard. Pretty late on that. This is a magnificent spell of bowling by Gilmore. Alan Davidson would have been proud to put in a spell like this. Picture of a bowler with his tail up. And he's out. Another one gone. Alan Knott out for naught. 35 for 6, and Gilmore's 6th wicket for 10 runs in a quite dramatic opening spell. 35 then for 6. That's out. Greg Chappell, second slip. Old flashing. So another one gone, 37 for 7. And the innings apparently rapidly running to its end. Chris Old caught Greg Chappell, bowled Max Walker for naught. And Max Walker's first victim of the day.
It's a fine shot, 4 runs over the top of cover point. So the first time we've seen Lilly try to dig one in. And that 4 bringing the 50 up for England and moves Dines into double figures, the first Englishman to reach it. And that's out, caught behind. John Snow on his way without waiting for the umpire's decision, so Dennis Lilly breaking through, breaking a little stubborn partnership there. And a catch down the leg side by Marsh, 52 for 7. Seems that this will possibly be the last over before lunch, which will have meant that the Australians have bowled 29 overs in the first 2 hours. An all-pace attack in this match, no mallet. England omitting Underwood. With the pitch ball and no mid-off, so no problem in driving that through. Ross Edwards chasing it, just cut it off inside the boundary. And Dines able to take 3 runs. Has bowled him. So full justification then for Walker to bowl at that top end. Clean bowl in Dines. England on 73 for 9, and the England captain top score with 27. Comprehensively beaten and bowled there by Walker. Arnold facing Thompson. It's an edge shot. It's gone right through for 4 runs. One of those awkward ones for second slip to take, pitching just in front of him and never quite sure whether it's going to bounce conveniently or whether it's going to go along the ground. Max Walker to Jeff Arnold. Another fine ball. A very streaky ball, that one coming back sharply, lifting inside edge, beating Marsh behind. Great shot. Ross Edwards in the covers. And certainly that was deserving of a few more runs. Beautifully middle. And that's out. He's given him out LBW. Umpires have been very busy here today. 4 decisions given by Constant, an LBW decision given there by Bill Alley. And that completes the England innings. Peter Lever, LBW to Max Walker.
Well, on paper, that's rather a miserable total, 93. But Mike Dines and Jeff Arnold made certain that they got up only 7 short of the 100 mark. The bowling dominated by Gilmore for Australia, 12 over 6 maidens and 6 for 14. Well, only 94 to make. But the big question around the ground there was, could the Australians withstand the bowling of Snow and Arnold and Old and Lever? Well, already the ball has been darting around everywhere from this green top pitch. Here is John Snow coming into bowl to Rick McCosker.
Oh, well bowled. Really putting something into that one, getting a bit of extra bounce. It wasn't all that short, and it was still going up when it hit Alan Knott's gloves. See, banging it in. And up she goes. Well bowled. Good over this by John Snow. Just a bit quicker in pace. So Turner is out, LBW for 7, and Arnold has struck the first blow for England. Australia 17 for 1.
And that must be close. Yes, that goes the finger. No doubt at all. He's threatened to get through Ian Chappell playing back like that. That one skidded, kept a little bit low, right in front, and no hesitation at all. So John Snow taking the wicket he so fully deserved there, that of the Australian captain Ian Chappell, the second man out for Australia with the score on 24. I think we'll see on this replay, no doubt or hesitation at all. Back and across, everything in front, and certainly would have knocked over all three. It's a good shot, chanced his arm a little bit, lifted it, but got it away safely wide of John Snow. It's running up the hill, out of reach of John Snow. And Greg Chappell underway with a lofted on drive for 4. On the face of it, a very comfortable task for the Australians. They require only 62 more runs and have got 8 wickets in hand. And although there is still a certain amount of life and movement in this pitch, nothing like the movement we saw early this morning. And what's got through again and is out. John Snow struck again. That's the second Chappell brother that goes. And John Snow really hurried off the pitch, that one. 32 for 3. And Greg, by far, I think, their best batsman, following brother Ian into the pavilion. So he's out for 4, Australia 32 for 3, and this is a great fight back by England. And he bowled it! Oh, what a... So this game really beginning to boil up now. Australia 32 for 4. McCosker's gone, and the crowd, the jubilant crowd, think they might be in here for a thrilling finish. So local boy, hero here, Chris Holt, taking the wicket of McCosker. Clean bowling him with the score on 32, of which McCosker had made 15. Holt to Edwards. And he bowled it! Great performance! And the crowd going mad, and Australia 32 for 5. And Edwards has gone without scoring. What a game of cricket this is. Chris Holt 2 for 5 now, and the game thrown wide open. And just look at those people. .32 for 5. Whoever would have believed this? Your off bail's gone and you're out, and 6 are down. A despairing swing to leg there by Rod Marsh. The ball just clipping the off stump. And Chris Holt has taken 3 wickets in 8 balls. So what a remarkable game of cricket. 39 for 6 Australia score stands at, as Gary Marsh in turn departs back into the pavilion. Holt to Gilmore. Runs there, Dinesh chasing it. Still won't go through to the boundary. This outfield immensely quick here, and it's remarkable to note that there's only been 7 boundaries here all day today. 6 scored by England and only 1 by Australia so far. And their score now 41 for 6, out of which Chris Holt has got figures of 3 for 9 off 4 overs. Just wide of Tony Gregg. My word, the extra slip would have been handy there. No possible chance even for the tall Tony Gregg there. good, firm, solid blow there by Gilmour. No doubt about that one. Over-pitch ball, a half volley, and very nicely put away through mid-off. So that boundary bringing up the 50 for Australia. 3 slips for the left-handed Gilmour as Snow moves in. First time he's faced him. And that's gone through off the edge. He's found the gap between third slip and second slip. Perfectly bisected, gets 4 runs. Certainly Gilmour's day here today. So all the time Australia creeping nearer here, wanting 94, now on 67 for 6. It's a good shot, that's 4 runs. And that's chasing it, but the ball gathering pace on the outfield. Good firm blow there by Gilmour. Sufficient there to move a slip out, put the extra man in the offside. In fact, 2 slips going out now. Greg moving into the gully, cover point, extra cover mid-off. For the first time, Dines having to relax his attacking field. He still found the gap. Stroked nicely through the offside by Gilmour, and these match-winning runs here, another boundary. So with the score moving on to 75 now, it means Australia with 4 wickets in hand are only 19 runs away from moving on to Lords on Saturday. That's now dropped it. Chance there to Tony Greig, a difficult one, but the chances that really must be accepted. Went quickly off the bat of Gilmour, in and out of Tony Greig's hands. So Arnold coming back into the attack in place of Chris Old. 6 overs, 6 fine overs with a new ball, 1 for 7. That's more like the true Walters half volley on the leg stump, clipped beautifully through mid-on for 4. Walters not really been in true form, but along with partner Gilmour now, surely going to see Australia home. Arnold from the Kirkstall lane end to Walters. Beautiful shot. Vintage shot there from Doug Walters. Fractionally short of a length and powered away through the covers off the back foot. Hurrying through, Walters scampering for the single going to bring Australia victory here in the semi-final of this Prudential Cup. And Gilmour, the man who made it all possible, 6 wickets for 14 runs in a brilliant early spell of bowling, then coming into bat in a critical situation when Australia were really up against it, 94 for 6. The Max Walker stand there could well be christened the Gary Gilmour stand after that.
No wonder Gary Gilmour was man of the match. He followed his 6 for 14 with that 28 not out, and that was a splendid innings from Doug Walters as well on a most difficult pitch. But I tell you, Australia only just scrambled home there. It was very much closer than that 94 for 6. Excellent bowling figures from those men, except for Lever, who had the chance only to bowl 2 overs. So the Australians go into the final, having defeated England at Headingley. In the other semi-final, West Indies against New Zealand. It was a good tussle, but the West Indies predictably were far too strong for the New Zealanders, led by Glenn Turner. It was a good performance from the West Indies to bowl them out for 158. Then it was 159 for 5 in reply, with Kalachurran making 72. Now for the final at Lords. Packed house, the most perfect day imaginable, and I should imagine enormous tension in the dressing room.
Oh yes, it was, because you've reached the first final ever in a World Cup, and it was a sort of situation where everybody was quite tense. But I was quite happy to have someone like Rohan Khanna in the side, because he, a very great player, and he can help whenever a situation was was tense. And I thought he played a magnificent innings, helping me in that final. But as you said, the atmosphere was electric because there were so many West Indians out there, and they were expecting us to win. The Australians, as you know, were quite happy to go out there and give us a game, and really wanted to win the first World Cup. And it ended up as probably one of the best finals that they've had in a World Cup final.
Well, let's have a look at it now. Dennis Lilly it is coming into bowl. There's 12 on the board without loss, and he's bowling to Roy Fredericks.
And there's a great hook shot. It's out of the ground. Oh, well, what bad luck that was. Played a magnificent shot, trod on his wicket, hit a six. And a very disappointed Fredericks there. So one can only say it was a little bit of stroke of a luck there for Dennis Lilly. It was a short ball, beautifully played, hooked out of the ground at deep log leg for six, and then knocking back his wicket. Well, let's see again how that misfortune happened for Fredericks. The short one, the bouncer from Lilly. And Fredericks doing the right thing, moving back and across, timing the ball so sweetly. And just clipping off the two bails with his foot as he fell. Still 2 slips in the gully for Kelly Turan to face Gary Gilmore, I would think, for the first time. What a glorious shot. This man really is in cracking form. Coming in, getting off the mark straight away and playing a beautiful cover drive there for 4 runs. Swung away, beautiful shot there by Stan. Really, this Kelly Turan is in magnificent form, following that glorious cover drive with a beautiful hook off his legs for 4. And that's it, caught behind, and there's the flick. Not the greatest of shots by little Elvin Kelly Turan, but Gilmore, who'd kept him quiet all through that over, bowling a very accurate and good length, finally making the little man have a flick outside the off stump, and he paid the penalty. Caught behind by Marsh. So he's out with the score on 27 for 2. Kelly Turan caught Marsh, bowled Gilmore for 12.
That's 4 runs. No chance of cutting that off. Jeff Thompson not able to get to that, and 4 runs to Greenwich to take him into double figures. Delight there for the West Indian supporters. That's Kanai off the mark. Typical Kanai stroke. Rocking onto the back foot and hit right in the middle of the back. The second great cover drive Rowan Kanai's played this morning. Good catch by Rodney Marsh. Thompson's first wicket. Very, very low and away to Marsh's right hand. Jeff Thompson is the bowler. And a great catch there. Looking at it from the nursery end of the ground in our special camera.
So a spell for Jeff Thompson, being replaced by his pace bowler colleague Dennis Lilly. Effortlessly turned off his legs this time by Lloyd. Just going to beat Walker onto the ropes. Slightly downhill here at Lord's, and with this quick outfield, the ball gathering pace the whole way down to that tavern boundary. Magnificent hook shot out of the ground. Superb shot there by Lloyd. The West Indian crowd on their feet. No doubt at all about that shot. Beautifully played, in position so quickly. So Australia discovering here that there's another man they mustn't bowl short to. Really a brilliant hook shot for 6 there by Clive Lloyd, taking him into double figures. What a great shot, what a great shot. Stood still almost and hammered it away through mid-off for 4. A series of great shots from the bat of Clive Lloyd. Almost standing to attention there and hammering it through the gap between bowler and mid-off. And he's dropped him. A let off there for Clive Lloyd. A disappointed Edwards. Didn't middle it. Probably the error there in the fieldsman's mind. The ball didn't quite come through at the pace he was expecting it. So Edwards, a brilliant fielder, missing out here. Lloyd going to swing it away again to mid-wicket, losing control, not timing it. Great diving effort by Edwards. Had the ball quite firmly in his hands at one stage, but out she bounced when he hit the deck.
It's a fine shot for 4 runs. Just straying in direction down the leg side, and Lloyd made no mistake. So the 100 comes up now for the West Indies. It's also the 50 partnership between Lloyd and Kanhai in only 49 minutes, and Kanhai's made only 6 of them, so the whole thing dominated this morning by Clive Lloyd. Walker's been brought back on now. He's got through 7 overs for 22 and bowled very well in the first session. Just about to bowl his 8th over now to Clive Lloyd. Straight down the ground, landing just inside the boundary. 51 to Clive Lloyd. Quite a remarkable innings today, and appreciated by every one of his supporters in the crowd, and even by those who may not be favouring the West Indies here today. 50 in 59 minutes, 1 6 and 7 fours. In the air, but quite safe. And Kanhai has broken the hold the Australian bowlers have had on him. Greg Chopper's asking for that, but no one else seemed very interested, particularly umpire Bird at the bowler's end. Ross Edwards is coming round under that, and he's put it down. Another very difficult chance for Edwards, and he's unable to pick up that one either. That was perfectly placed by Ian Chappell. He put Edwards out there for that lofted shot away on the offside. Here it is again, Greg Chappell the bowler. Kanhai slashing away outside off stump, and Ross Edwards coming around from point on the fence. Might just have misjudged it a fraction, I think, but got both hands to it. Great shot again. Just a little bit too much over pitch from Greg Chappell, and 4 more runs through extra cover. .32 now to Kanhai. Lilly is the man coming in under that, and he's put it down as well. 3 chances dropped by the Australians, all of them difficult, but all catchable. Kanhai picked up 2 runs Disappointment there for the Australians, but they have only themselves to blame.
And that's hoisted away into the grandstand balcony. A tremendous blow by Clive Lloyd. Wasn't all that short, in fact, something like a good length ball, but picked it up, timed it sweetly. And he moves on to 73 and makes this partnership between himself and Rohan Kanhai worth 100, and that's come in the quick time of 85 minutes. A very big six indeed there by Clive Lloyd. The good length ball just simply helped on its way right into the grandstand. Also bringing up the 150, 152 for 3. And really hammered that square for 4. And there's no way you can bowl to a man like Clive Lloyd when he's in this sort of form. Length no longer means a thing. Not a bad ball by any means. And the West Indian contingent delirious with excitement now. Short one hammered away this time by Kanhai for 4 to mid-wicket. The crowd ever anxious to toss the ball back, let them get on with it. And some tremendous shots being played, 168 for 3. This has not been a question of slogging, it's been a question of beautiful cultured stroke play. Clive Lloyd now to face the last over from Max Walker. And whacked away third, hurrying away to the boundary, that's 4 more. And the crowd unable to contain themselves, can't sit still in the seats. Away over the top, Ross Edwards chasing it, but it's 4 more. Really is a tremendous display of batting this. It's Gilmore to Lloyd. And repeated again, flicked away to mid-wicket, 4 more, he's found the gap so beautifully. And the crowd rising again to this West Indian captain, who's moved his score now on to 99. He got it in no uncertain terms. Beautiful flashing cover drive, typical of the man. The bat raised, the crowd on their feet. And what a delightful exhibition this has been by Clive Lloyd. You couldn't really wish to see a better 100 than that in any form of cricket. 100 made out of 190 for 3. And the whole of Lords on their feet applauding this man, whether you're a neutral, whether you're a West Indian or an Australian. Nobody can fail to appreciate it. His 100 coming in exactly 100 minutes off only 82 balls, including 2 sixes and 12 glorious boundaries. What a glorious shot. What a magnificent shot. Wide half volley, waiting for it, cracked it square, up goes the hat, it's 50 now to Rohan Kanhai. Arms up in the air. Dickie Bird is coming over to see if the ball is carried. Marsh asking Dickie Bird, not quite sure whether that's carried through to the keeper. He's going to ask Tom Spencer if he feels it's carried. A long deliberation, one either says yes or no fairly quickly there. But he's given him out, yes, it seemed a long time. So the end of Clive Lloyd, catch taken by Marsh behind, a wicket for Gilmore, and the end of a really brilliant innings. Spectators on the field if they can get on, the crowd on their feet, and all this to acclaim a magnificent performance by Clive Lloyd. Rescued this West Indian innings 50 for 3 when he came in. He's made his 100 in 108 minutes. 2 sixes, 12 fours. And the fourth wicket going down at 199. Well, the Australians, a great gesture there by them. And a little hint of what might be in store for Australian watchers in the winter. Gary Gilmore, the successful bowler, coming in from the nursery end. Bowled a couple down the leg side. And a brilliant catch there by Rod Marsh. He's bowling. So Gilmore taking his third wicket. Kanhai fairly rapidly following his partner Lloyd. At the end of a most valuable innings there by the veteran West Indian player Rohan Kanhai. And the man causing the damage. 3 wickets then to Gary Gilmore, following his 6 against England in the semi-final. And he's bowled him. What a great over this is. Oh, Gilmore turning it on again. It's Richard's turn to go this time. So this young man who's been held back, he only bowled the first spell of 6 overs and took a wicket in that, has now come back and in 3 overs he's collected another 3 wickets. His figures at the moment standing on 4 for 34 and brought this game very much again Australia's way. 209 for 6.
Change in the bowling. Doug Walters has bowled his last over, and it's now to be Jeff Thompson bowling to Boyce. Lilly, and it beats him into the boundary. It's wide of Jones, a good shot too. Picked that up beautifully off his toes.
And that Boyce is facing is Jeff Thompson. And that's a full pitch. So Keith Boyce fall into that full pitch. Quite happy about it. 34 very valuable runs in brisk time from the Barbadian. Only 43 minutes, the 7th wicket to go down, score on 261. He's had a go at that, he's middled that one all right. A fine shot by Derek Murray. And Lilly getting the treatment, another 6. And he will not learn that you can't bowl them halfway down to these West Indian cricketers, no matter what order they come in. Derek Murray at number 9, a fine hook shot into the crowd for 6. Boosting this West Indies score now to 282 for 7. And Murray has gone very quickly into double figures. That's an easy caught and bowled. Gilmore snapping it up, and that gives him 5 wickets, so 5 wickets for Gary Gilmore, following his 6 wickets against Leeds up at Headingley. What a great start he's had to this first tour of this country. And nearly swung himself off his feet there. Gilmore not too worried about it, but he could be because they'll run a second one. So 2 more, that's it. It's the end of the West Indian innings. Their score standing on 291 for 8. Superb century we've seen from Clive Lloyd. And the bowling honours here taken by Gary Gilmore, the man walking off with 5 wickets to his name.
That's a fantastic performance from the West Indies. 291 from 60 overs. They're only 8 wickets down. Lovely batting from Rohan Kanhai, 55, and the tail weighed well, but the whole thing was dominated by the skipper, Clive Lloyd. 292 to win in the first of the finals. And we join play now at 25 for no wicket. The Australians are going along quite well at the moment. Keith Boyce is the bowler for the West Indies. Rick McCosker is taking strike.
And that's the first wicket down. Caught that second slip by Kali Charan, the breakthrough that West Indies needed so badly. Boyce just getting that leg cutter to run away from the right hand of McCosker. He's produced 3 great deliveries in this Prudential World Cup competition. 2 of them dismissed the Chappells at the Oval, and that one now has taken care of Australia's opening batsman, Rick McCosker, with 25 runs on the board. A good delivery this. McCosker was drawn into the forward defensive stroke outside the off stump, and Kallicharran took it very neatly down at ankle height. The run rate required by the Australians is just under 5 and over, 4.86. Irving Rosenwater has worked out. It's a sizable task. Bernard Julian now to Ian Chappell. It's a very good stroke, and there's an admonishing look from Clive Lloyd to Julian. I shouldn't think Lloyd's instructions were to bowl any bounces to Ian Chappell, unless it's Andy Roberts who is going to do it. Well, he's got his runs, but not off the middle of the bat, but they all count. Great shot. Lovely shot from Ian Chappell. He's been aiming to club the ball away through extra cover 3 or 4 times, but he hasn't had his timing right until that one.
And he's got that away successfully and well, wide of mid-on for 4. So Ian Chappell here has got over the first problem, the one of not losing early wickets. It's a short one, a great hook shot there by Alan Turner. Really latched onto that one, waiting for the short one. Put it away decisively behind square for 4. And Clive Lloyd, who invariably in these matches seems to come on for a few overs and very often snaps up with a valuable wicket. Field very much on the defensive, no slip for the West Indian captain. So the 2 captains here in direct opposition. Very close, yes, he's run him out. So Clyde Lloyd come on, throw there from Viv Richards, a delighted Viv Richards, and Alan Turner slow to set off, was ambling through thinking he was safely home. But the speed, mobility of Richards tricked him in the end, and that's a blow to Australia when they were going so very well indeed. Lloyd coming on, his first ball to Chappell, just pushed quietly away on the onside. Turner a little slow there, hesitating, and deciding on it at the last minute to go. Chappell called him straight away. And Richards, a fine flick of the wrists, breaking the wicket with Turner still short of his ground. It's away all right this time. Beautiful shot. Elegantly clipped off his legs there by Greg Chappell. Short and hit away most powerfully this time by Chappell. Greg Chappell making a second boundary there.
What he do to Ian Chappell? Greg Chappell has strike. He's on 14, and it's Andy Roberts. It's 4 runs. A very fine glance there by Ian Chappell. So 5 runs from this over. Andy Roberts. Oh, and there must be a run out here. He must be out. Richards again. Tragedy for Australia. Absolute tragedy with a misfield there. The old rule of never run on a misfield still holds good. waving that he hadn't caught it. It bounced just in front of him, but a great piece of fielding. That's a good shot from Ian Chappell. Van Holder is the fieldsman who will pick it up inside the boundary. It's 3 to Chappell, and it brings up his half-century. So a good fighting innings from the Australian captain. He's unfortunately been concerned in the 2 run-outs that have occurred in the Australian innings, but he's batted very soundly. He gave one chance. His 50 came up in 100 minutes, and it has included 4 boundaries.
And a terrific shot. That really was a wonderful blow. Onto that so quickly. Enormous power, he put that away. Oh, it's a glorious shot. Short, cut away off the back foot by Walters. And Walters certainly looking something of a menace now to these West Indian fielders. Beautifully timed shot. 162 for 3 after 38 overs. Clive Lloyd now pushing a man back on the deep square leg boundary. So a man on the deep mid-wicket boundary. 2 men back now. Here are the fields. I think that Ian Chappell will be having something of a dart at him. Well, there's plenty of open spaces. And again they're in trouble, and again he's run out. Oh dear, what a calamity for Australia. And it's this man Richards again. Really tossed it away. Absolutely needless run out there by Australia. And utter confusion again between the 2 Australian batsmen. Well, Australia in here with a great chance of victory, are slowly tossing it away. Greg Chappell run out, now his brother Ian run out. So despite that 4th wicket going down, there must still be hope here for Australia. With Walters in great form, Marsh, Edwards still to come in. And another glorious crack through extra cover by Walters. That's going through for 4. And this is the man the West Indies have got to dispose of, and dispose of fairly quickly now. Rod Marsh, 27 years of age now, 31 tests for Australia on his 2nd tour of this country. Turning that one off his legs. So into his stride fairly quickly, takes 2 runs. Clive Lloyd to start his 11th over. And he's bowled it. So that's the wicket West Indies wanted. And that could be the turning point in the game. Walters, who looked and gave us a glimpse here of his true form, fall into Clive Lloyd with his score on 35. A 5th success for the West Indies, with the Australian score standing at 170. Well, they possibly think that the cup is now theirs. So 4 runs there to Ross Edwards.
46 overs gone now, 99 needed in 14 overs. Well, I saw Western Australia beat New South Wales in a Gillette Cup match in Sydney last year in similar circumstances. He's put him down. Derek Murray, a straightforward catch. And Keith Boyce can hardly believe it. Little bit of extra bounce there, and Murray was up off the ground in trying to take the catch. The shoulder of the bat, and Murray was unable to hang on to it. Boyce to Marsh. Bowled him, and that, I should think, is just about the end for Australia. Marsh bowled by Boyce, aiming away through mid-on. He made 11, and the Australians are 195 for 6 in the 47th over, chasing 292 to win. New batsman coming in for Australia, Gary Gilmore. It's a fine shot from Gilmore. Picked it up nicely. Greenwich was the fieldsman, but it was well out of his reach. It's the sort of stroke play the Australians must attempt, but they only have 4 wickets in hand. 207 for 6 now. Gilmore has gone on to 8. It's a good shot from Edwards, who's not a hooker, but he swung that around. He went with the ball, swung it around behind square leg for 4 to take him on now to 24. It's a very good shot. Beautiful lofted straight drive from Gilmore. Last time Gilmore played against the West Indians, I think, would have been when he went to the Caribbean as a member of the Australian schoolboys side. He's the youngest member of this Australian party in England at the moment. And that must be out. Kenai, and he's caught it safely. Just 10 yards in from the boundary. An attempted bouncer from Keith Boyce. And Kenai in all sorts of trouble there. Took the catch safely. And Australia now 221 for 7. Four runs. It's a good shot from Walker. Now 6 overs have cost 30 runs. Boyce now is bowling his 12th over to Edwards. And it's in the air, and Fredericks must catch that. A simple chance. And Australia have lost their 8th wicket for 231. The West Indian crowd is going wild over on the left of the ground. Max Walker now is on 7, facing Keith Boyce. Holder. And that's out! The 4th run out of the innings. A very fast throw from Holder. I wouldn't mark it down as one of the best pieces of running between the wickets I've ever seen from any cricketer. And Max Walker is out, having turned the ball to Holder, started off down the pitch, was sent back by Thompson, who never had any intention of going, and there certainly wasn't a single there. So now we have 4 run-outs in this Australian innings, which stands now at 233 for the loss of 9 wickets. 1 wicket to fall, and the police contingent, which is very strong here at Lord's today, just waiting for the end of the game. And Thompson has hit Roberts straight down the ground for 4. The first ball of Andy Roberts over, coming back to relieve Bernard Julian, his 9th over, and Thompson has taken 4 runs from it. Well, I can't believe that Lilly is telling him to stick around and we'll get them in singles, as that famous English pair did many years ago. Andy Roberts to Jeff Thompson. Well, they're real eagle eyes today. I think if they threw left-handed, some of the right-handers, they'd still hit the stumps. Fine shot from Thompson. Picked that nicely off his toes and into the square leg boundary for 4. Australia now on to 243 for 9 wickets.
And the West Indian contingent ready on the sidelines for the dash over and when West Indies can pick up this last wicket. That's high in the air, he's middled it pretty well over the top of Clive Lloyd. So counts as 4 more. And the Australians not giving up without a great fight here. All the way down the order, they've come in and played some shots. And Lilly in at number 11 has made 6 now. Thompson 2 sparkling 4s in the last over is on 9. 2.47 for 9. Holder the bowler still looking for his first wicket and in his 10th over now. And Richards again. So it's Jeff Thompson now to face Holder. And he's missed this time, otherwise we should have had the 5th run out. They're coming back for the overthrow. And if Richards had thrown to the other end, I think it might have been curtains. And the big crowd staying on here applauding the 250 achieved by Australia, and this has been a tremendous fight back. Full marks here to the Australians, standing on 250 for 9. Still wanting 42 more runs with their last pair at the wicket. Australian dressing room watching it to the bitter end, fingers crossed that they're hoping for a miracle. And hold it to Lilly. He's got that away through the gap on the onside. Little Calichuran who's fielded it so brilliantly down there in front of the tavern, making sure they only get a single. He might have missed out with the bat today, but made some really tremendous stops on the boundary edge. So another single, 262 for 9. And Thompson occasionally veering it. A little touch down the leg side. It's coming again. How good's the throw going to be? Is it out? Anticipating the run out, the crowd coming on the field. And they must go back. Thompson ushering them away off the field. He says he's not finished yet. He's 17 not out at the moment. And Jeff Thompson has started to enjoy himself out there. Crowd almost back behind the boundary ropes. And it's holder to Thompson. And that's it. That's it. He's told him to go back. The overthrow off a no ball again. Overcome the crowd. They think it's over. They didn't see the no ball signalled, and these two batsmen are still running, and it's absolute chaos out there. Nobody knows what's happened. They can keep on running. Lilly says keep going, we can run 10 here, because nobody can find the ball. The crowd are on the field, and everybody trying to find out now how many they actually did run, what happened. It was a no ball, it was a catch taken, it was a shy by Fredericks at the wicket, and they ran the overthrows. And Tom Spencer doesn't quite know what it's all about down there. It must be a very weary Tom Spencer too. 9.5 hours he's been out there officiating. And it's Thompson now, facing Holder. The score is contribution here on 21. They're pushing it for the single, but off the pad, signal there by Spencer. It signals not quite good enough. They need a couple of boundaries to come fairly smartly. The partnership moving on. 40 runs put on now for this last wicket. Facing Holder, 19 wanted off 10 balls. There's at least another single. Will they chance a second? No. Thompson slipped in actual fact. I think he might have gone for a second otherwise. So there are just 9 balls left in this pulsating match. 18 runs wanted. The field way back on the boundary now. Only Fredericks on the offside, capable of saving a single. Apart from that, the whole West Indies side packed round the boundary edge. And Thompson, who's played so well for his 21. And he's out. That's a great stop, but what a way to end the match. 274. And I've never seen cricketers move as quickly, gathering the sacred stumps. The charge of the brigade over. A win for West Indies here by 17 runs. And unforgettable scenes here at Lord's Cricket Ground at the end of one of the greatest one-day matches one could ever possibly wish for. 291 scored by West Indies, 274 the Australian reply.
Well, it was a marvellous effort from the Australians, 274. But what about those run-outs? Turner, Ian Chappell, Greg Chappell, Max Walker and Jeff Thompson all run out in this first World Cup final. 274 they made. The West Indies bowlers took a hammering and there was some excellent batting, particularly at the start and at the finish.
And Prince Philip, of course, president of MCC, with the trophy in his hand, beckoning to Clive Lloyd to come up and receive it. And it goes to this magnificent cricketer, and how well he and his team have deserved it. And the crowd settle out, the trophy held high, his medal along with it.
Now, what about the fielding? 5 run-outs.
Yes, well, we realised too that the Australians were not very good runners between the wickets. We realised that quite early actually, and we realised that if we can get a couple of them run out, because they weren't really and truly, they were a bit suicidal at times, and we got those 5 wickets and they were quite good for us. But I thought we sealed the game when we got that mammoth total, and it was an excellent day. It was a day that I will never forget, and I don't think that any West Indian that was there or listening for that matter would forget. And I think that it was fitting. It was to end that way in the final at Lord's. It was a full house, a wonderful day, and I think everybody enjoyed it. Although England was not involved in it, I think any cricket enthusiast would have enjoyed that final, because there was good cricket on both sides.
Clive, do you put it down as your finest hour, your greatest day?
I would think it would be, well, yes, I would think so. It was a wonderful day in the sense that I was now coming into, there again, it was my first, it was probably my second time as captain, basically, so I was new to the job, and I had some young players that I wanted to get into the right sort of frame of mind, the right attitude, and they came of age really at the right time. They played magnificently. Vivian Richards really didn't make a lot of runs, but he feel magnificently. It was great performance all around.
A marvellous day and a marvellous feeling.
Yes, I think you can't beat something like that. Winning, I always believe in winning, and if you win in a situation like that, it makes it all worthwhile, all the hard work you've put in. And it was good for not only for me, but for the younger players and for West Indies cricket, because we started to do well from that day onwards.